Hello, my name is Corey Merriman, and I am standing up to be your next Mojave County Sheriff.
My name is Corey Merriman. I am standing up to be your next sheriff. I'm a Christian constitutional conservative Republican. I have a foundation to back that. I've been endorsed by Sheriff Richard Mack. Big endorsement. He's the founder of the Constitutional Sheriff Peace Officers Association. He's the only sheriff to take the federal government to court and win. Who am I? A little bit about myself for those of you who don't know me. I am a former deputy sheriff hostage negotiator for Mojave County Sheriff's Office. I'm also a federal firearms manufacturer. I have 2 factories. I manage over 600 accounts at our factory. I decided to step away from Mojave County Sheriff's Office to stand up for you, to represent Mojave County Sheriff's Office. Why am I standing up? Ask yourself this. We need to change the culture of Mojave County Sheriff's Office so that everyone will be treated equally with the dignity and respect that they deserve, so that all of the employees will be treated with the opportunities available fairly and equally. We also need to put the safety and security of Mojave County and the residents first. So how are we going to do that? We need to implement an action plan. And actually, through all of our previous debates, I am the first sheriff candidate to announce my run. I've been campaigning for over a year. And many candidates come before you and talk about the issues. We all know what the issues are. How many of you want real solutions? I know I do. I know I definitely do. With my business perspective, I definitely have what it takes to redirect Mojave County. I also felt the crutch as to why we're short-staffed. Why are we down so many deputies? Not all of them leave because of law enforcement. They leave for other opportunities. I understand that. But there's no reason why we can't retain them, and we have the highest turnover rate in Mojave County. So, with that being said, today, I would like to give you some of the reasons and examples as to what we need to direct in Mojave County. We need to institute a community neighborhood service program. What that is we get so many neighborhood complaints in residential areas of everything from drugs, trafficking. What we need to do is have actual officers handling that instead of just turning it over into a civil call. We also need to institute a website strictly for the sheriff's office, not just a link a pull-down bar where people can file or not be able to file a report. People should be able to, in this day and age at the sheriff's office, be able to file reports on the county website if they do not want an officer to respond. We also need to institute a transparency in the sheriff's office by forming a citizen advisory group that works hand in hand with every officer. What will this do? What I mean by transparency as we will crush the good old boy structure. That puts the power back into your hands, the people of Mojave County. That bridges the relationship of the people, the deputies, and the supervisors. Anytime that there is a complaint or problem, who's going to handle that? The Board of Citizens. The Board of Citizens, what that would do is have that board go over any disciplinary problem. Once again, as I said, stopping the good old boy structure and segregating the disciplinary action between one officer being treated one way and another being treated another. We also need to institute a forensic science team. What is that? That is detectives who just strictly go out and collect evidence instead of tying up our officers unnecessarily. How many of you go to the doctor and see medical transcription when you go to the doctor's office? I know I do. That's something we also need to institute at the sheriff's office. It will definitely correct the mistakes, the errors on reports, and what it'll also do is free up the officer to be able to go out and actually be proactive. We need to also correct the magnet division. What's wrong with it? We're letting the low-level criminals off to try to get the bigger fish. But what does that do? What does that do? That it initially tells them that they're going to get off, so they're going to go continue to do the burglaries and the crimes that we need to stop from the get-go. We need a zero-based tolerance for all criminals, especially when drug-related. We also need to implement a Scared Straight program. Anybody know Sheriff Joe Arpaio? I know I do. I got to meet him. I've actually traveled the state to meet various leaders in the community. I have sat down with board of supervisors as well and spoke with them about my run and have been encouraged to run because of what I have to offer. With the Scared Straight program, that would help redirect youth children who seem to be problematic and troubled, and then it would redirect them on a more positive approach. We need to also reinstitute a cadet program for juniors. That way we can advance them into sheriff's deputies in hopes to retain them to help serve our community after they leave the junior cadet program and are able to become a part of our community and Mojave County Sheriff's Office. We need to redirect our boating program. We used to have boats in almost every district and body of water, and we don't anymore. We also need open access to the media. If we're trusting our officers to go on calls of service, burglaries, serious crimes, why are they prevented from access to the media? We need 100% transparency. There is no reason, what are we hiding, if we're not allowing them to speak openly and freely to the media. We also do not have in place an emergency response team. We have the search and rescue team, and we also have our tactical operations unit. Our tactical operations unit is not full-time, nor do they qualify all the time. All of our administration also needs to attend the National FBI Training Academy, so we get them to reach national standards of training and capabilities to work from the top down to help direct our leaders all the way down from the sheriff's office. Under my administration, there will be no quotas. I felt the crutch of being forced to make traffic stops. I actually saved some emails from some supervisors telling me that I would suffer consequences if I did not give traffic stops. Seriously, I have them. I saved them. What does that do? That puts a crutch on them to stop from being able to patrol the neighborhoods, to stop the crimes, and be proactive. No more quotas under my administration. Absolutely not. I think it should go back to the decision of the officer. As I said, we need to look at the bigger picture and not put the thumb down on these officers and redirect them and utilize our extra time and resources other ways to help advance them. And like I said, we definitely need to destroy the good old boy system and promote based on performance and excellence in education and the public perception of quality with provenness of customer service and effectiveness. Wow. So that's a little bit of it. I have more in the jail that I could go into that I'd like to redirect. We actually work with, we have food trays that are shipped in. I want to redirect it. I met with Sheriff Drum, and what they do is they cook in-house everything. We need to take those inmates and have the low-risk inmates cook the food. Lower the cost for you, the taxpayers. That's a big one to me. Food trays. We have huge kitchens at the sheriff's office jail. Huge kitchens that aren't being utilized. We have 2 substation jails that are closed. I know, I used to have to drive up to the Pilot when I worked there for a transport when I arrested somebody. I've sat down with board of supervisors who have told me that the funds are available to reopen them. So we either need to reopen them or we need to build an energy efficient one, as been described to me, and put it out by the Pilot to be efficient so we can properly serve you. Ask yourselves, Okay, she just gave me all of these great ideas to help fix Mojave County. How does she plan on doing this? I announced last year that I was running for sheriff. And in my announcement, I said we need to start with zero-based budgeting. It's a direction that we use as a stepping stone to advance us through the process of the budget instead of just voting in a tax hike to put the burden back on you.
I can bring a new perspective to the sheriff's office. God bless you all. My name is Corey Merriman, and I approve this message.